Hello, and welcome back to my live sped chat. So today, on the series, we're going to be looking at the special education teacher, and we're going to be looking at some of the IEP tips, some of the things that you need to know and to do before, during, and after the IEP. And I know I've shared my experience. I've shared my experience about being a first year special education teacher and how that can be a challenge. And so this is for the new teachers just coming out of college. This is for teachers that are, your first 3 years. And even those teachers who are seasoned veteran teachers who might need, some tips on what to do before, during, and after the IEP. Now, I'm going to be leaving some information if you need like additional support and you'd like to get in contact with me. I'm going to leave that at the end of this video. All right, so let's get right into it. So what do you need as a special education teacher? What do you need before the IEP? All right, so the first thing you want to make sure that you do before the IEP, you want to make sure that you develop a good collaborative relationship with your parents. Having that collaborative relationship with parents, whenever it's time for you to have maybe your annual IEP, or it's time for you to have an amendment to the IEP, when you call your parents, they're ready. They're there to support you and to support their child. So you want to make sure that you build that relationship first and foremost. Second, you want to communicate. At least at the beginning of the school year, you want to introduce yourself to your parents. You want to exchange contact information so that you can keep up to date with what's going on with, before the IEP meeting. All right, number 3, you want to consult with the parent or parents before scheduling a date, time, and venue for the IEP meeting. And you want to make sure that the venue that you choose for the IEP meeting, you want to make sure that it's somewhere that is leads to confidentiality, somewhere that is private, maybe like a conference room, or if you have like a sped room that you have already situated for that, then you want to make sure that's the venue that you have. Make sure that the parent is in agreement with the time, the date, and the venue. You also want to at this time, ask if the parent when you contact the parent, you want to ask if they have any concerns. Do they have a parent statement that they want to give to you at this particular time? You want to do that when you contact the parent before the IEP meeting. You also want to make sure that you notify all relevant personnel, whether it is the ODR, admin, parent, related service, whatever, all those individuals, you want to make sure that you notify them. You want to make sure that you give them enough time in order for them to make preparations for the IEP meeting. This can be done through email. And whenever you're sending an email, you want to make sure that you attach a copy of the parent notice when you're sending an email. Okay? And then the fifth thing you want to make sure that you do before the meeting, you want to send at least, so you send an initial parent notice, but you also want to send at least 2 other follow-up notices prior to the meeting. And you also want to make sure that you call, be in contact with the parent to make sure if there are any changes that needs to be made, like with the date and the time or anything like that, that is done. All right. There are more things that you need to do before the meeting. If it's an annual meeting, there are more things you need to do. If it's an amended IEP meeting, there are more things you need to do. But if you do need more information, you can always schedule a free consult with me and I will be willing to help you or take you through the process. All right. So that is before the IEP meeting. Let's talk about during the IEP meeting. So during the IEP meeting, you want to make sure that you arrive on time. Arrive on time. Don't be that kind of person who, you want to be on other people's time. No, you want to arrive on time. You want to be organized with all your relevant paperwork. The second thing, you want to create a relaxing atmosphere for all the parties, all the members, the team members that are there. So you don't want it to feel like a tense meeting. You want to create this relaxing atmosphere for everyone. Also, you want to allow everyone who are in attendance, make sure that they sign. If it's, make sure that their signature is their signature is basically giving proof that they were in attendance. And if it's not right then and there, and it's like maybe like a phone conference or a Zoom conference, you want to make sure that you document who the parties that were in attendance. All right, the next thing that you do during the meeting, you or the ODR can actually start the meeting, but you need to allow the parties enough time to speak. Do not rush through the process. So you want to give everyone enough time to go through their part of the IEP. Do not rush it. If the parents, they have concerns or anything, you want to make sure that you give them enough time for them to voice those concerns that they might have. All right. And the next thing, when it's your time to speak, you want to go through the different sections of the IEP, and you want to make sure that all parties are in agreement. So you don't just want to, go through it and that's it. You want to make sure that everyone is in agreement with with what is discussed. Do not rush through it. You want to take your time. You want to go through that. You want to discuss any concerns and document whatever is discussed in the IEP. Sometimes it might be necessary to read back the information that was discussed to make sure that you have documented everything correctly. And that is just a few of the tips. There are a lot, there are others, but like I mentioned before, if you need any additional support, just contact me, and I will leave my information in the comment section. All right, now after the IEP meeting, what are some things you want to make sure that you do after the IEP meeting? You want to make sure that a copy of the IEP is given to the parent, and that all relevant personnel that work with the student, they will also get a copy of whether it's the accommodation, the student's accommodation, whether it's their health plan or their behavior plan. All of those documentations, they're going to get, all the relevant personnel that work with the student, they're going to get copies of these as well. All right. You also want to ensure that all information that may be on the paper copy is also transcribed digitally. So whatever you have on your paper copy of the IEP, you also want to make sure that if you're inputting that digitally, the same information that's on the paper copy is what's on the digital as well. You want to make sure that that corresponds. You also want to file the IEP in the student's file or folder when you're finished. And then you want to update any other relevant documents that reflect what was discussed in the IEP. All right. So those are just a few tips. If you want additional information, if you're a new teacher, if you are a first year teacher, if you're a teacher, like 1 to 3 years, if you need additional information, and if you're a veteran teacher, you need additional information, just reach out to me. I'm going to leave my information in the comment section. And also I do have a course. It is a course that outlines the entire IEP process, and it actually goes through step by step what is done. It gives you a model of what it actually should look like. And for the entire summer, that course is available. You can you can check my website in my bio. You can click on that and use that website to get to the course. The course is actually 50% off for the entire summer, all the way until August 31st. So you're going to be able to get access to that course. All you have to do is just type in the code. I'm going to put a code in the comment section as well. If you have any other questions that you want to ask about what to do as an educator before, during, and after the IEP meeting, just reach out to me. Okay? All right. So thank you so much for joining me today on Sped Chat, and join me next week the same time as we talk about the parent. What are some things as a parent that you need to have before, during, and after the IEP meeting? Just reach out to me if you need more information. All right. So thank you so much for your time. And like we always say in Jamaica, want to take care of yourself. All right. Bye.